The Fahrenheit method of measuring heat basically came from some dude sitting in nature with a notebook. So this is Weird Fact World Building, where we're going to take an interesting, weird fact, tell you what it is, and then from there, do some actual world building for your fantasy role-playing game world. Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit made up the Fahrenheit scale. Surprise.
I think your use of the phrase made up is particularly poignant because he literally just made it up.
Like, he said, 0 degrees? Why, that's the coldest temperature I can find. So I'll just make it 0.
And not very far, in his town. Just like, oh, it's kind of cold. You know what? This must be what 0 feels like.
I agree.
Then, you have 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which in contrast to 0, was what he assumed his own body temperature was. He didn't measure it. He didn't use the thermometer. He was just like, 99.9. We'll round right up to 100.
That's the key. He assumed, he's like, you know what? I bet I'm this hot. That is how Fahrenheit came to be. So let's do some world building and apply this to your world. First, you want to do a Taptarian toast?
May you mend the first break.
May you kill the first snake. And may you conquer everything you undertake. Sláinte.
So kelvins is what scientists use, but because it's helpful for measuring scientific things, like 0 is absolute 0, which is like negative 459 degrees Fahrenheit, but like who even cares about that anymore?
It's negative 459 of my body.
Yeah, but we wanted to world build with this, so let's see how can we take a scientific system of measurement, a helpful system of measurement, and a complete and total just Charlie Foxtrot of a system of measurement and put them in a fantasy world or otherwise a world.
So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I like the idea that different scientists are using different scales to measure things. Let's take that and use it in our world for magic.
I'm real quick. I think my favorite part about this is going to be coming up with the guy who just pulls it out of his butt.
Right? And you know what we can call him?
Tell me.
Parnum Wembley.
I knew that was coming. Parnum Wembley.
He's perfect.
Parnum Wembley is the guy who's like, I've done it. I've created Celsielvins.
Celsielvins.
What is that? It's how many magic missiles it takes to fill a 2-liter bottle. You're like, what?
In fantasy games, like Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, it's pretty widely assumed that everyone's using the same magic missile and they're using the same spell components and everything. Why? Because it's in the rules. Dividing up your world and making it so that one part of the world uses different measurements of magic than the other is kind of cool.
Exactly. Or even, not even getting into the schools, but yeah, the idea that some people, like, they call magic missile something else. They're like, no, we use that to light our fires. I don't know.
I like the idea of different magicians thinking there is a benefit or a bonus to measuring the magic system a certain way.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe it's an efficiency thing. Maybe they think, well, oh, you use that system of measurement? Well, I can get 2 more spells out of the same components. I also think it would be kind of cool to come up with a measuring system of power so that it's not, I am a mage. Well, how powerful are you? I can do like a level 9 spell once a day.
I'm level 1, so you know, prestidigitation and shit.
Well, so what I'm thinking is that it would be kind of cool if it was like, well, how powerful was that spell? It was 29 Fahrenheit. It was 87 Wembleys.
It was 29 me's. As far as I know, I've never seen a system where somebody's like, well, I used a 3rd level spell slot, so my fireball does this much damage. In the world, they're like, that was a really strong fireball. Somebody'd be like, how strong was it?
And so that is how you can world build using this weird fact about Fahrenheits. I almost said Celsius and Selvins.
Celsius, Selvins.
So here's what I want you to do.
Excelsior.
First of all, if you like this video at all, go down to the dungeon and subscribe. Secondly, tell us what you're going to use in your world as far as measuring the magic system. The name, the type, the whole 9 Fahrenheits. Put it right down there in the comments.
So this has been the first, and certainly not the last, So this has been the first Weird Fact world building with Celsius, Kelvin, and some jerk named Fahrenheit.
Wembley. What if I came up with a unit of measurement for taverns and inns and how comfy their beds were.
So, what would you call it? Because it wouldn't be Wimbley's. This would have to be...
Pillow Top'ems.
Another thing that I think another interesting thing about stuff like that in a fantasy world is humans are like, that guy Fahrenheit was a human and was like, oh, that's how hot my body is. But if there was a Dragonborn, like, it'd be way off for everybody but Dragonborn.
Thanks so much for watching. And until next time, may your dice roll high. See, I went to school with a guy named Kelvin. And that explains why he was so hot. I would say, as I get older, I'm going backwards on the handsome scale. Certainly.
You're going down in Kelvin. You're losing Kelvins left and right.
I am losing Kelvins.